Guys, welcome back to the Tipton Company Conroe Training Facility. Today we're going to talk about Niagara Stealth Toilets. With me, I've got Trey Cutler and Richard Rossi, both with Niagara. Guys, you introduce yourself, give us a little bit of background about yourself and what your role is with the company.
Sure. Trey Cutler with Niagara. I'm a regional account manager. I've been with the company for over 8 years now. I cover from Texas all the way to California.
Thanks, Bo, for having us. My name's Richard Rossi. I'm business development manager at Niagara, and my focus is really on driving specifications for our products through architects, plumbing engineers, and owners and developers of multifamily and hospitality projects.
Great. Well, guys, thanks for joining us today. Trey, why don't you start us off by giving us a little bit of background about Niagara, what our mission is, and what we're trying to do in the world today.
Niagara is a plumbing product manufacturer that specializes in water efficiency. The company has been in business for over 40 years and was started by Bill Cutler in New Jersey. The mission of the company is to innovate and conserve without sacrificing performance. Today, we manufacture the most water-efficient toilets available on the market, with most of the flow rates at 0.8 gallons per flush.
All right, thanks, Trey. Well, Richard, why don't you give us a little background on industry, the toilet industry, and where we were and where we've evolved to today?
Sure will. Back when I was a young man, back before 1980, you can see their toilets were flushing at 7 gallons per flush. It's really mind-blowing now when you think about where we are with high-efficiency toilets at 1.28 gallons per flush, and the toilets we're going to talk about today that Niagara manufactures, a stealth toilet at 0.8 gallons per flush, but we've come a long way from then. But one of the things I really want to point out is when toilets were flushing at 3.5 gallons per flush, around the early 90s, they were modified, and the tank trim within the toilet was modified to cut that water use less than half. There's still a stigma about low flow or ultra high efficiency toilets not working well because of that situation back then. Consumers got really upset with the toilet manufacturers that modified that tank trim, but we've come a long way since then. Today, there's over 1,000 brands of toilets that are at 1.28 or high efficiency, and 0.8 being ultra high efficiency, and they actually perform a lot better than the toilets that were using up to 3.5 gallons of water back then. So it's really what's happened, Bo, is it's really driving innovation with toilet manufacturers. So the products out there today are a lot better.
All right, well, thank you guys for a little bit of background on both the industry and Niagara as a company. So one question I get a lot from distributors, from contractors, homeowners, property managers is, why Niagara? What's about Niagara? What's special about Niagara? What do we offer that other brands don't offer? Richard, do you think maybe you could walk us through some of the technology and the things that we have to offer these end users?
Sure can. As Trey mentioned earlier, Niagara was really founded on creating innovative technologies that perform very well without having to change human behavior. You flush your toilet and you expect it to work. What we've done is about 9 years ago, we created this technology. We call it the stealth technology. And it's a patented vacuum assist system that allows for a very powerful flush, yet quiet. And it performs very well as far as the waste removal. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Couple of the features of the stealth toilets that Niagara manufactures are dual action siphon and rim jets for optimal cleaning. We'll go over that as well. Next slide. We have a Fluid Master 400A fill valve that fills from the bottom, so it provides a very quiet refill. We have a larger water surface than most toilets that use that are high efficiency or ultra high efficiency. And we have fully glazed ceramic, which is really important to the efficiency of the toilet. Some of the benefits created by those features are that we were able to use 0.8 gallons of water only in the flush. With that little bit of water, you get very good performance out of these toilets. All the tank trim is factory installed. So that's going to make it easier for your plumbers when they get these toilets on the job, because all they really have to do is attach the tank in the bowl and bolt the toilet to the floor. No assembly within the tank. Mentioned the fully submerged fill valve, and we'll show that on the next slide. And then I did want to point out that Niagara has a 15-year warranty on all the tank trim. That's the longest in the industry that we know about. So that provides the owner a lot of confidence that the product's going to work for them for a long period of time on the properties.
So that 15-year warranty, that's on the parts. The porcelain is a lifetime warranty, is that correct?
That's correct. So 15 years on the tank trim. So anything inside that tank is warranted for 15 years. And it's a lifetime warranty on the ceramic or the vitreous china portion of the toilet. And Bo, as I mentioned on the last slide, we're going to show a little bit more about how these toilets operate and how they're different from other toilets on the market. The key to the technology is the air transfer tube that is connected to the trapway of the toilet from the flush chamber. And what that's going to do is that is going to force air down into that trapway as the toilet is refilling, and it's going to create a vacuum in the trapway. And that is what makes the vacuum assist technology work, is that air transfer tube. So what it's going to do in the toilet flush is it's going to pull that air out of the trapway quickly, and that's going to create a siphon effect or vacuum in that trapway. So that's going to be the pull effect that's going to really be the power of the flush, and that's going to remove the waste and the water from the bottom of the bowl. And then the 0.8 gallons that's going to come out of the center of that flush chamber that's inside the tank, that's going to be used to finish the flush. I mentioned earlier in the last slide the noise canceling fill valve. You can see there it fills from the bottom. Most toilets are that fill valve is going to fill from the top, and what that allows is when it's filling from the bottom, that tank is full of water, so it's going to quiet that refill because that fill valve is submerged. And lastly, I wanted to point out, you can see in this illustration of the tank trim, there's no flappers on these toilets, so they're flapperless. That's going to save on leaks. It's going to save more water there. On no running and no maintenance on these toilets. Very little maintenance is required. So that's going to be another benefit for the building owner. A few other design details, the stealth toilet that help it perform well and keep a very clean bowl using only 0.8 gallons of water are the siphon jet located at the bottom of the bowl. Is a bit smaller than most toilets, so it's going to more effectively and efficiently force the water in the flush through the trapway, evacuating the waste into the plumbing system. It's got a front rim jet, which also helps accelerate the flush and makes the 0.8 gallons of water work very well. And then the rim wash, so there's rim jets around the side of the bowl, and that's also going to help with a clean bowl and help effectively use that 0.8 gallons of water to keep the bowl clean. You see in the bottom diagram there the water spot on these toilets. Most low flow or high efficiency, ultra high efficiency type toilets are going to have a very low water spot in the bowl, and that does make it difficult to keep the bowl clean. The stealth toilet, because there is pressurized air in the trapway, and you can see that illustrated with the green arrows there, that's actually going to push the water spot up in the bowl. So it has a higher water spot, and that's going to really help, as I mentioned, keep that bowl clean with every flush.
Well, Richard, thanks for walking us through the technology. It looks like there was a lot of technology that went into the bowl and the tank, and obviously both of those working together allows us to maximize that 0.8 gallons. That little bit of water, we really got to utilize every ounce that we have. So that's good stuff. don't you go over some of our featured products here and kind of walk us through the different designs and options?
So this is our original stealth toilet with a top button flush. It's our most popular model available today. It's at 0.8 gallons per flush. It comes in the elongated bowl, a round bowl, and a 10-inch round bowl. All of our bowls are comfort height and meet ADA height requirements. We also have an extra large footprint. So if you're doing any renovation projects, you don't have to do any type of tile work. And these toilets are all utilizing our patented vacuum assist stealth technology. The original is also available in a left-hand side lever. So the bowls are all going to be the same. It's just a different SKU for the tank. And this one is also utilizing our stealth toilet technology. The Nano is our newest product. It's a compact elongated toilet. So what that means is instead of tight spaces where you would typically put in a round bowl, you can now fit an elongated bowl, which is now the preference. This model specifically is a dual flush version with a flow rate of 0.5 on the half and 0.8 on the full. So it's the most efficient toilet available on the market today. This model also comes in a single flush version of a 0.8 gallon per flush.
Yeah, Trey, this Nano is very cool. These are the two that actually I'm putting in my house here in this week. So I'm excited to get those installed.
You're going to save a lot on your water bill with those products. So the next product we're featuring is the Phantom. So this is a higher end model of our stealth toilet. It's got the skirted sides for easy clean. It's a two-piece design to look like a one-piece, and it's also utilizing our stealth toilet technology.
All right, thanks for walking us through those featured products, Trey. Richard, I know we've got a lot of resources on the website talking about different water usage and other certifications that we have. Can you maybe take us through some of that?
Sure, Kembo. One of the coolest things that we have on the website, and you can certainly go on and look at our full product line, download spec sheets for all the toilets, etc., and look at case studies, which we'll look at a couple of those at the end of this presentation. But we also have a water saving calculator. So this enables a building owner to go in and estimate the cost savings that they can achieve by installing 0.8 gallon per flush stealth toilets. So what you would do is plug in your water and sewer rates, and you're going to get some with the amount of add in the amount of toilets that you have on your job, and you're going to be able to estimate your water savings in gallons. And you'll also be able to take a look at an estimated savings on your water and sewer bills by installing the 0.8 gallon toilet. So it's a really cool tool to be able to take a look at the actual financial end of it and see what you can save by installing the stealth toilet on your properties. So one of the things I wanted to point out as well about our stealth toilets is that all of the stealth toilets are WaterSense certified. So they all have the WaterSense label. WaterSense is a program that was created in 2006 by PA, by the federal government, to mandate water efficiency in toilet fixtures. So all our toilets have that WaterSense label, and in order to get that, toilets have to flush at 1.28 gallons per flush or less, and they have to remove 350 grams of waste in a single flush. And that is actually measured with soybean paste and toilet paper in a laboratory environment. So all of our toilets have that certification. Wanted to point out as well that if you're working on projects with building certifications like LEED, our 0.8 gallon stealth toilets will definitely add points to LEED V4WE, and will also add points to NGBS and other green building standards. And then lastly, MAP scoring. MAP scoring was created in 2003, and that is a way to measure the actual performance of a toilet. So it's actually rated by the number of grams of waste that it'll flush in a single flush. And all of the Niagara toilets have the MAP Premium label. All of the stealth toilets have that label. And in order to get that, it's actually 170% of the requirement to get the WaterSense label. So the toilet must flush with 1.06 gallons of water per flush or less, and must remove 600 grams of waste in a single flush. So that MAP premium label is really important to understand not only how efficient the toilet is with water use, but what a good performing toilet it is as well.
Well, that's some great stuff, Richard. Thanks for walking us through that and showing us that cool tool there that owners can utilize to see what kind of savings they could get from our toilets. Next couple slides, I put in a few case studies. Trey, do you mind walking us through some of these case studies and real world examples of what we were able to help save property owners?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So this is a property that we retrofitted in Georgia. We were able to cut the indoor water consumption by 48%. We retrofitted 243 units, and we're able to achieve $156,000 annually saved for that property owner, which is pretty significant. So not only are our products a great solution for multifamily applications, they're also a great fit for hotels. So here's a project where we actually took out 3.5 gallon per flush toilets and installed our 0.8 gallon per flush stelts. And the property owner said that he got fewer callbacks with the new 0.8 gallon per flush toilets. He was able to save 55% on his indoor water usage. We installed 115 units, and he saved $90,000 annually.
Wow, I bet that was a big surprise. Well, thanks, Trey, for walking us through that. Richard, thanks for joining us. Anybody watching, engineers, property owners, contractors that have questions, we got this slide on here that shows mine and Richard's and Trey's email. So if we can ever help you out in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We love doing lunch and learns with engineer firms and just educating the specialists and the owners. So thanks again for joining us, guys. I appreciate your time. Hey, Richard, y'all have a good one, all right?
Hey, thank you very much for having us on.
Pleasure. Thanks a lot, Bo, for having us.